Kicking off the action, it is next Friday, December 19th. College football's two most successful programs since World War II, Alabama at Oklahoma. The two programs met earlier this season with the Sooners winning in Tuscaloosa 23-21. By the way, Oklahoma also beat Alabama last season. The winner of this game, though, a tall task ahead of them. They will have to face off against one seed Indiana. So let's welcome in two-time national champion with the Alabama Crimson Tide, one Damian Harris, two-time Super Bowl champ with the Pittsburgh Steelers, Brian McFadden. I went to Oklahoma. I didn't do much. I was in a sorority. I worked at a bookstore, and that's about it. But I am representing the Sooners hard in this one. Damian, let's get started with you. Heading into this game with how the season ended, who would you say is the better team right now?
Listen, you already trying to start some drama, man. The Oklahoma-Alabama representation here. You already trying to start a problem by asking me this question first, because you know what I'm going to say. Based on the performance that I saw in the SEC championship game, I'm going to be honest and truthful and say that I just think that Oklahoma is the better team. I think that neither team has that strong of an offense or that scary of an offense right now. But when you look at Oklahoma's offense and what they're doing with John Mateer, this is the same offense they've been running since before the hand injury, since before he got hurt. Then when you look at this Alabama offense, it just seems like they're running out of gas. They're running out of ideas. They were playing out of rhythm the past couple weeks, and just offensively, they're not able to move the ball. Obviously, the lack of the running game, that hurts your offense from all accounts. And then you look at the defensive side of the ball. Oklahoma's one of the best defenses in all of college football, and they've done that without their best player, R. Mason Thompson, and they get him back for this game. I got to go with Oklahoma as the better current team right now.
That's the only answer. I'm so happy, Damian, you woke up feeling unbiased today, because I don't know exactly which direction you was going to go. I didn't know, but I'm happy to hear your honesty, because to your point, I mean, Alabama in the last 4 ball games, they're 2-2. They're 2-2 in that 4-game stretch. At once upon a time, Ty Simpson was in that Heisman conversation. But when you look at what happened in the month of November, and of course a week ago, he's no longer in that conversation. And when you look at Ty Simpson as the individual passer for their team in that 4-game stretch where they're 2-2, he's thrown 5 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. He's been sacked 10 times. So he hasn't performed up to his best, along with the entire offense. And most importantly, they're 500 in that 4-game stretch. So when you look at Oklahoma, now I'm not raving about John Mateer, because I agree with you. Since returning from that hand injury, John Mateer has declined. He hasn't seen the football field well. But the last time Oklahoma lost, it was in October. So they've done a good job finding ways to win, and you can't say the same about the Crimson Tide in that 4-game stretch with them.
So those are the entirety of the teams, but let's look at the coaches here. You have Kalen DeBoer, an offensive-minded head coach, going up, against Brent Venables, a defensive-minded head coach. When it comes to maybe who has the upper hand in coaching, Damian, Brent Venables ain't looking to get poached right now. Kalen DeBoer may be headed out somewhere else. So it feels like maybe it's on Kalen DeBoer, but how do you look at these two coaches compared?
Well, if you just focus on the actual game itself and not listen to the rumors of, where Kalen DeBoer might end up if it's going to be with Alabama, if you just focus on the facts, Brent Venables has been here before. I played against Brent Venables in 2 national championships, 3 national championships. As the defensive coordinator of Clemson, he has that championship pedigree. He has that experience. He's been there before. So I have to give him the advantage from that perspective. And I still believe in this mindset. I still believe that defense wins championships. I know B-Mac is going to love that. And what is Brent Venables all about? It's about this defense. Yes, he is the head coach of the Oklahoma Sooners, but his job is to get this defense right. It's to call the plays. It's to have his guys in position. And he does that better with the best of all of them in college football. When you look at this defense and what they're able to do, they shrink your running lanes. The guys at the second levels, the linebackers, they get off blocks, they fit the hole, they do it with physicality. In the secondary, they suffocate the receivers, they take away a lot of the deep part of the field, and they just don't let you hit those explosive plays. They make you drive the ball the length of the field, because they know if they play good sound defense from 20 to 20, at some point, you're gonna slip up and they're gonna capitalize on that. And that's all led by Brent Venables. So I would definitely give the coaching advantage to Oklahoma as well.
Damian, I agree with you, but to add some substance to your analysis, Brent Venables has never lost to Kalen DeBoer. He's 2-0 against Kalen DeBoer. We saw the surprise win this year in Norman, right? When Alabama was coming to that game as the clear-cut favorites to win that ball game. That was a surprise loss for Alabama. And then we saw what happened this year in Tuscaloosa. It's something about Brent Venables where he has had the upper hand in this coaching matchup against Kalen DeBoer. And also, you talked about how good the Sooners defensively they've been. Remember, they kind of opened up that Pandora's box in how to slow down and neutralize and most importantly harass Ty Simpson. Because before that Oklahoma Sooner loss, Ty Simpson was in that Heisman conversation. Ty Simpson was performing outstanding. But it was something in that Oklahoma game where Ty Simpson did not look like Ty Simpson. He looked more like Joe Simpson. I don't even know who Joe Simpson is, but I don't think he's a Division I quarterback.
Homer Simpson.
Homer Simpson, there you go. Homer or Joe. Either one, they're not a D1 quarterback. But that's the performance that we saw from Ty Simpson when he went against Brent Venables. So I agree with you, man. Brent Venables has done a phenomenal job at this point getting into the playoffs because they kind of been one-dimensional leading on their defense. But when you look at the individual matchup, what he's done against Alabama, man, he's had the better end of the stick when it comes to coaching against Kalen DeBoer.
I feel like Ty Simpson's going to take that personally, being compared to Homer Simpson. You know what, y'all?
Hey, I hope he does and takes it out on your Sooners, Amanda.
No. I'm just saying you guys are all about Oklahoma right now. I mean, you have Crimson. You are the Crimson Tide. We have Crimson. Garnet is very close to Crimson. So if you guys want to jump on this bandwagon, you can go for it. B-Mac, I'll start with you here. X factors in this game.
Well, X factor for me is when you look at both quarterbacks, and when you look at the first matchup, right, Amanda, what opened up that window of opportunity for OU to upset Alabama was creating turnovers. So the X factor for me is which quarterback is going to protect the football the most? Which quarterback is going to provide that first turnover, the first one? Because usually the first one in these playoff games, it's a momentum booster for the opposing team who created the turnover. And we saw how that first turnover led to a snowball effect for OU, and that snowball got bigger and bigger as it came downhill, and Alabama couldn't get out of the way. So that's the X factor for me in this quarterback matchup, because me or Damian, we will never rave about John Mateer over the last few games because he hasn't lived up to the billing. But if you look at the first meeting, he didn't do a lot, but he protected Wilson. He protected Wilson like a newborn baby. You can't say the same for Ty Simpson in the matchup. So that's the X factor for me, Amanda. Which quarterback is going to protect Wilson the best? And Wilson is the football for our viewers who might not know who Wilson is.
You know, for me, it's two things. And obviously, I'm an Alabama alumni, and they haven't played very well. So I'm going to speak on their behalf. But it's going to be two things for me. One is going to be this defense, because I think asking Ty Simpson and a running back room that's young and banged up, and, you know, the absence of Brian Williams, asking this Alabama offense to go and just put points up against this Oklahoma defense that's getting R. Mason Thompson back and having them control and dictate the game, I think that that's just too tall of a task to ask for them. I think that what we've seen from this Alabama offense as of recently, I think that they need to focus on a defensive game plan and how to make John Mateer uncomfortable. Use the same formula that Oklahoma used against you. Find a way to make John Mateer uncomfortable. We know he hasn't been throwing the ball very well. We know he hasn't been seeing the football field very well. Put some pressure on him and make him play that backyard style of football that he wants to play. Then you cover up his receivers, and then he's more susceptible to turning the football over. We've seen that with John Mateer. When his first read isn't open, when his second read isn't open, his feet get happy. He can't decide if he wants to run, use his legs, or if he wants to throw the ball down the field. And that little bit of confusion allows him to be susceptible to turning the football over. So it's going to be Alabama's defense. And secondly, who is going to control the pace of play in this football game? When me and B-Mac sat and watched the SEC Championship, we watched Georgia and Alabama. Georgia completely dictated the tempo of the game. It was slow, it was methodical. It was almost like they weren't playing to win. They were trying to play the long game because they knew at some point Alabama was